Everybody, thank you for checking out my review for this A-Zone wireless security system. I'm a big fan of these systems, mostly because they're pretty inexpensive and it's really nice to be able to check on your house when you are on vacation. So I've been playing around just on getting everything unpackaged here, and I just want to show you kind of what's in the package. These are the cameras that come in it. There's 4 of these cameras. Really nice cameras. Sorry about the shake there. Really nice cameras, actually. They seem very, very well built. And you can see all the LEDs for night vision. That should give you extremely good range. Inside the box, also it comes with this. This is the brains of the unit here. I'll show you that in a second. Within that box is this box here that comes with the antennas for everything. So basically all you do is just screw this on like so. You can adjust the antenna however you want. Power cord is right here, and then this is an Ethernet cord. If you're going to hardwire it in rather than use the wireless. I like that it has plugs. The other systems that I have not plugged that up. So being that these are outdoor cameras, that was really nice. Obviously it comes with all the power adapters too. I'm not going to show you those, you don't really care. This is the other thing I thought was pretty cool. It came with this extendable antenna. These are the same antennas that you can either use for a specific camera, I'm assuming because it's got the same pin connection in there, but you can either use it for the camera itself or to extend the range of your the braid, so your MVR, the video recorder. Most of the other companies actually make you buy that extra, so it's nice. Here's a mouse. Here's the rest of the antennas. Comes with this disc. I'm not really sure what that is. I haven't read the instructions yet. And then these little adapters, these are elbows so that you can change the angle of your cameras. Very nice. All right, so this is the brains of the system. It's smaller than the other systems that I have. I like that as well. You can see it kind of looks scratched up, but that's actually because there is a plastic cover over that. So now it looks real nice. All right, nice and shiny. It's very lightweight. This one does not have a hard drive in it, but if you want to put a hard drive in it, you can just pop this out by taking these screws off. You take the back out, and you can put a hard drive in it, which I'm actually saving up for a solid state hard drive, which I would definitely recommend. So it's better to, in my opinion, to get a cheaper system and save up for a solid state hard drive, because those won't ever fail. Any of the ones that are not solid state eventually will fail. They just do, because they run constantly. All right, so in the back here, these are the 2 antenna ports. So same thing as the cameras. I'm just going to screw that on there. Screw that on here. Again, it has a plug for the Ethernet port, which I think is cool. Here's the power port down here. USB, that's going to be used for this mouse, like so, to control it, and then an HDMI or a VGA out. That was another thing that I thought was cool, is a lot of the systems don't actually have a VGA out, so it means you can only use it on a system that has an HDMI. So that was kind of cool. I like that. All right. So now with that all in, that's basically the system. It's pretty easy to set up. It's just a matter of putting the antenna on there, and then plugging the power cords into everything. So what I'm going to do now is connect it into my TV. I'm going to run it through, and we'll see how this works. I'm going to connect all 4 cameras so that we can make sure everything works, and then go through the system so we can. I just want to test it out and see how we're doing. So I'll be right back with you when I get over to the TV. All right, so I have it all booted up. Basically all I did is plug the HDMI cable into the NVR box and then plug power cables into all 4 cameras and the box itself, and that's it. That's pretty easy to set up. The first time it boots into kind of a setup wizard. I just bypassed all of that, which is why all the dates and everything are off. I'll adjust that later. I didn't want to waste time with that, so I wanted to just get through and show you guys how to use this thing. So I'm going to step over to the machine. I apologize for the sound in advance. My microphone that clips on, it broke, and so I'm just using the microphone on the camera, so it might be a little bit distant as I get further away, but I'll try to talk into the camera a little bit. So to pull up the menu, basically all you do is you're going to right click. This is the menu system here. And it's pretty much the same exact menu as the other systems that I've used. So it's pretty easy to use. The split screen here, you can adjust if you want to just focus on one camera or if you want all 4. The video manage, this is where you're going. There's no username and password. So we'll set that later. This is where you're going to be able to see all of your cameras. So what I want to show you all of these cameras are pre-configured to work with your NVR. If for some reason one of them isn't working, I'm going to just do this. I'm going to delete that one there. So we just deleted that off. So if for some reason you get 3, but you don't have the other one, you're going to right click and you're just going to go back down to this Wi-Fi add. It says right now that it can find 3 devices. It's going to look for the 4th one here. So let's see if it pulls it up. There it goes. All right. And so it found the fourth camera. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and exit. So now if you go, you can see all 4 of them there. So it's really easy if for some reason your configuration is weird. This is the system setup. So the general setup, the logout, all of these information. You can enable the boot wizard so that the next time you boot it up, you'll have the wizard come up. I don't really care about that. Here is the record setup. So this is how you can schedule. So you can schedule individual channels, which I think is cool. So say you want camera 1 to turn on. I want it running, right now it's running from midnight to midnight. So say I want to run it until 11 o'clock. You can change that. And you can actually change it based on the day. Okay. So there's Sunday to 11, you switch, it's Monday, it's going all night. So Sunday we're going to go ahead and we'll say, yeah, 11:59, is that where we're at? 23:59. So I'll go back to 23:59. All right. You can also set it up to motion, or if apparently through a sensor, I don't know how to do that honestly, but you can set it up as a motion alarm to only record when there's motion as well. This is the network setup here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in there because it has a lot of my information. I don't want you guys to have that. It doesn't really matter. The network setup comes pre-established. So, and then this is the channel setup where you can adjust the quality frame rate of the individual channels. This is the system admin. So basically, that just is going to show your serial number and all of that information. I'm going to go through video detection, channel detail, IP camera. So in this IP camera setup, it will tell you if you can adjust the way that your camera is mounted if you need to. All right, so there's that. Oh, I do have to say that just like the other systems that I've used, there isn't Wi-Fi built into this, which means that if you want to use the app to check on your place remotely, you need to connect it into the router. So that Ethernet port on the back that I showed you of the NVR, plug that into your router and you'll be good to go. If you don't want to sit it next to where your router is, you can get one of these little guys. It was pretty inexpensive. It was like 20 bucks or something. And basically you set this up as a repeater that is tied into your router, and then this plugs into your NVR and you're good to go. Very inexpensive, but that's how pretty much all of them have been. Let's see, setup wizard, fast network, exit system. All right, let me see if I can find the user. All right, so you go to system admin and then you go to user. So this is where you're going to set up your password. So you have your username and your password just like that. All right, system upgrade, that obviously that won't work unless you're connected to the internet, or unless you have downloaded a firmware upgrade from the company itself. Maintenance, oops, I clicked on IPC maintenance. So now it's going to try to find the network, which, okay. So you can change networks and firmwares and whatever from that. I wouldn't recommend doing anything with that. This is the hard drive, that's a hard word to say, hard drive info. So once you put in a hard drive in, you'll be able to find it here, and you'll be able to format it to use. That's pretty much it. Basically, you want to set the username. So the next step is I'm going to show you how to get the app working on your phone. So I'm going to plug this thing into my router so that we can see that. And then I'm going to do setup wizard right here. This is the cloud ID that you're going to be using. So that's the one that you'll need to be able to set up your app. And then this is if for Android or iOS. So all right, let me get the app downloaded and I'll be right back with you. We can run through that. All right, so basically all I did was plug the Ethernet cord into that little Wi-Fi repeater that I showed you. So now you're going to right click again, go to System Setup, Network Setup, and make sure it says Healthy Network down here. If it says Healthy Network, it means you're connected to the internet. I do want to point out real fast, this is the email settings down here. The STMP servers, you can actually set this to email you pictures with motion and stuff like that. All you have to do is Google your STMP server for whatever you're using. If you're using Gmail, just Google Gmail STMP server, and it'll give you the ports. This will be your Gmail or your email username and password, and it will tell you this. You can send what's the name of the sender and all of that. I would just put your same email address in there. So anyway, so now we know we're on a healthy network, so let's go ahead. I'm going to pull this back up here. We're going to go to Setup Wizard. So basically what you're going to do is, let me get this. You are going to use this app here. It's called IP Pro. This is actually really bad lighting, so sorry about that. I'll fix it here in a second. But when you log in, let me exit out and I'll show you. So it looks just like this. Focus. There we go. So this is IP Pro. Basically, when you first log in, you'll create a username and password. This is the same app that my other system used, which is why I have my other systems on there. So basically, to use it, oops, sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. You're going to hit the plus button up here in the corner, and you're going to do Add Device by ID. All right, so once that comes up, you're going to hit this little button right here on the side. That's going to show you, whoops, sorry, I'm looking through my screen. So you're going to hit this little button in the side. That'll pull up the QR reader, and you're going to choose the one that I showed you over here that says Cloud ID. So let me just step in front here, scan the Cloud ID. And as soon as it comes up, well, as soon as it says Cloud ID, and you scan it, it comes up with your device. You're going to input your username and your password that you set up, that I showed you to set up in this system. Then you're going to choose Submit. That's about it. Let's focus here. All right, so it should be connecting, and there you go. You can see that it's connected. So I'm going to click on this. It's going to pull up all 4 cameras. You can choose down here at the bottom to actually do recordings right now, and you can do your playback. So if you have a DVR, if you've got a hard drive in there, you can actually review your playback from your phone, which I think is cool. To set up, if you want to just view a larger view of an individual camera, you double click. It'll pull it up. I'm going to turn it horizontal. I think, and now you have a full screen of that. You can see the quality is actually really nice, very nice quality, and really super easy to use. The whole system is really easy to use. The last thing that I have to do, I want to try to test the range on this system to see how far away. It claims 100 feet, I think, if it's going through a wall. So my system's actually going to have to go through 1, 2, 3 walls. So I'm not sure how far it'll go, but I'll put the actual range in my write-up to tell you how it compares to the other systems that I got. But as far as the system goes, I'm very pleased with it. It's really easy to use. You can see how long it takes to set up. Everything comes pre-configured. The app takes about 2 minutes to download and set up. The cameras work really great. The system just works. It's a nice, easy system to use, and all you have to do is add power. One last note for power on my other systems, what I've done, you can find it at Walmart for like $2 or $3. You can find a light socket electrical outlet adapters. Basically what it does is that you can screw it into your light socket, and it creates an electrical outlet from that light socket that will allow you to plug these in anywhere that you have a light socket, is provided the light switch is on. So really easy to get power into places that you already have a light. So what I did is I used one of those, plugged a couple cameras into it, and then I just used a motion light, an LED light, so that I can keep my light switch on all the time, and the camera's on all the time, but the light only turns on at night when somebody walks by. So easy fix if you don't have power. All in all, this is a really, really great system. I don't see anything wrong with it. It functions perfectly, exactly how it says it's supposed to. So I give this thing 5 stars. I think you guys will be happy with it.